Hello everyone and welcome to our Week 25 midweek edition of Instant Replay, where I give you my take on the most controversial plays on a busy Wednesday night. I'm Simon Borg. We start at Rio Tinto Stadium and an excellent use of video review on a goal scored by João Plata, and that dance of his would be short-lived. Because when head referee Silvio Petrescu is alerted by the VAR to a potential clear and obvious error and he gives it another look, he spots the foul by RSL's Luis Silva on Quake's goalkeeper Andrew Tarbell. The keeper has both hands on the ball when Silva's leg comes through and jars it free for Plata to score. Great decision by the officials to take that one off the board. But RSL wouldn't need that goal. They'd go on to win the match 4-0, aided in no small part by the red card to San Jose's Aníbal Godoy in minute 61 for a second yellow after he put his hand to Albert Rusnak's face. And check this out, Godoy is asking for a video review, but RSL's Luke Mulholland comes over and says, "What are you talking about? Don't you know you can't review second yellows?" But in the end, I don't think there's anything to protest here. Godoy flings his hand into Rusnak's face. It's not even a push-off. It's a swat to the face. Totally unnecessary, and that's a great decision by Petrescu. And the Quakes are lucky they also didn't get a penalty called against them. The replay shows that this shot by Jefferson Savarino strikes the right arm of Quakes defender Andres Imperiale, but before the VAR probably has a chance to check that play, Savarino goes on to do this. And that made it 2-0 and essentially put the result out of reach for the 10-man Quakes, who have now lost 6 in a row on the road. No need for video review on the Seattle penalty kick called by referee Ricardo Salazar in Vancouver. Shane Williams takes down Sounders debutant Victor Rodriguez, and his teammate Nicolas Lodeiro buries the ensuing spot kick. There was also no doubt about the second yellow and subsequent red card shown to Vancouver's Tony Chani, who is on his knees begging Salazar not to pull out that second yellow. But the ref has no choice, and Vancouver are down to 10 men. But even down a man, the Whitecaps found a way to equalize on this 64th minute goal by Freddy Montero. Now, there's a hint of a foul by Alfonso Davies on Seattle defender Chad Marshall, but on replay, you can see there's nothing there. Marshall simply tries to make a play on the ball, but he fails to gain full possession of it, and in fact, he doesn't even protest. Staying in Cascadia, we head to Portland, where Timbers forward Darren Maddox goes down in the box in the 16th minute, but there's no call from referee Dave Gantar. Let's see, was it a penalty? Colorado defender Courtney Ford runs in front of Maddox to slow down the run. But from the replays we have, I can't spot an obvious foul, and in fact, Maddox gets up and attempts to finish the play, although the goalkeeper Tim Howard puts out the fire. The Timbers did earn a penalty kick in the first half, and it came in the 30th minute as a result of a video review. The referee Gantar initially ruled this one a goal kick, but after being alerted by the VAR to a potential clear and obvious error, Gantar gave this one another look and spotted the tug of the jersey by defender Mike DeFont on Portland's Diego Valeri. But Timbers midfielder David Guzman can't convert. To the Texas Derby at Toyota Stadium, where Houston's Alex was hoping for a penalty kick in minute 11. But I did think this is a case of Alex running into Dallas defender Nangrana as opposed to the other way around. No penalty was the right call by referee Baldomero Toledo, and Grana was also hoping for a yellow to Alex for simulation, but I don't think that qualifies as simulation. The tables were turned in the 35th minute, with Houston defender Dylan Remick calling for a simulation yellow card on Dallas winger Michael Barrios, and you see him telling the referee, "That's a dive, that's a dive." But here, I think it was closer to being a penalty kick than it was to a dive, with Remick's right arm pulling down on the shoulder of Barrios, but Barrios was also leaning into Remick. That's why I'm okay with the no call and no cards, but Remick ran a big risk. It was a wild rivalry match that finished 3-3, but FC Dallas fans were hoping for one final goal when those two guys were at it again. Remick and Barrios coming together near the end line. As in the first case, no foul is called here by Toledo, although I personally thought it was a foul. But when we look at the replays, even if Toledo called the foul, it would not have resulted in a penalty kick since the contact occurred outside the box. Interesting play to look at RFK Stadium, where DC's Marcelo Salvas goes in on Atlanta's Yamil Assad, and although referee Ted Uncle does not call the foul during the run of play, allowing for the advantage, he does come back to issue a yellow to Salvas once Atlanta put the ball out of play so Assad can be tended to. But was it a challenge worthy of a red? The VAR signaled down to Uncle for a potential clear and obvious error on that yellow card decision, and Uncle looked at it on the sideline monitor and sticks with his yellow card decision. Now, I look at that tackle a little more cynically, and I thought Sarvis could have avoided the stomp on Assad with his right foot. I would have gone with a red, but that tackle will surely have people split, and ultimately it's a judgment call. A mere few minutes later, Sarvas, who was now carrying that yellow card, commits this foul, once again on Assad, who was on the run. And Sarvas ran a big risk. But ultimately, I agree with Uncle that this one was not worthy of a second yellow for stopping a promising attack. I think it's just incidental contact from two players coming together. Careless, yes, but it doesn't rise to unsporting behavior. DC United won the match 1-0 to sweep Atlanta United on the season, but the Five Stripes were shouting for a penalty in the 90th minute. We don't get a good look to see if DC's Russell Canals commits the handball in the crowded box, but safe to assume the VAR had other angles he was checking, and he did not alert the referee for a video review. And before we leave DC, Atlanta midfielder Carlos Carmona risked the second yellow in stoppage time when he raised his hand to the face of DC's Paul Arriola, who laughs it off. But again, Carmona was already on a yellow, and he does it right in front of the referee, who happened to be looking down at the ball. To Columbus, where we saw 3 video reviews in a single match, and all of them came within what was roughly a 10-minute span. The head referee was Soren Stoica, and the first instance came when he showed a red card to LA defender Ashley Cole for denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, also known as dogso, for this foul on Cruasis Pedro Santos. Before the set piece was taken, the VAR signaled Stoica for a potential clear and obvious error, and after watching the replays, Stoica upheld his on-field red card decision. And if it's a foul, and most would agree that it is, then it's definitely also a dogso red. Less than 5 minutes later, video review helped Stoica determine whether this foul by LA's Jonathan Dos Santos on Pedro Santos was committed inside or outside the box after Stoica had initially ruled for a free kick outside the area. And replays in fact showed that Dos Santos made contact with the foot of Pedro Santos right on the line. That makes it a penalty, and Stoica overturned his first call, but Cruasi could not take advantage as goalkeeper John Kempen stops the penalty. And a few minutes after that, we had our third review when the 10-man LA Galaxy hit the back of the net on this corner kick. But the VAR signaled down to Stoica to give the player another look for a potential clear and obvious error, and good thing he did, because replay showed Joao Pedro makes contact with the ball while in an offside position, thus negating the goal. And before halftime, that man again, Cruasis Pedro Santos, in his home debut, goes down in the box on a challenge from LA's Rafa Garcia. But the referee says play on. And based on the one angle we have, I don't spot a foul myself. I think that's a good no call. And I think Stoica made another good decision not to call a penalty when Christian Martinez goes down in the box in the 76th minute. I felt that LA right back Pele Van Aanholt held his ground. No penalty for me. But 1 minute later, there was a penalty kick foul when LA goalkeeper John Kempen misses the ball and takes down Ola Kamara. That's a stone-cold penalty, and Stoica calls it, but Kempen delivers on the spot kick and stops his second penalty of the match. And we end in Toronto, where we saw a similar play to the Ashley Cole red card in Columbus. Here, it's Toronto's Josie Altidore getting fouled by Union defender Fabinho. And this was an interesting decision by head referee Armando Villarreal. Fabinho is clearly not playing the ball, and in my opinion, he does stop a clear goal-scoring opportunity. But Villarreal opts to show him a yellow. But that's a judgment call. There was no clear and obvious error, and therefore no video review. And an interesting play in the 83rd minute with the match already sealed at 3-0 Toronto. You see the 5'4" Sebastian Jovinko harassing 6'4" Union defender Oguchi Onyewu, and after Onyewu passes the ball to his keeper, he makes sure Jovinko can't catch up to it by sticking his arm out and bringing him down. No whistle from Villarreal and no video review, but I thought that was a penalty. What did you think of that one? Let us know in the comments. As for us, that's all we have for now. Until the rest of the Week 25 slate on Monday. For our editor, Rich Hernandez, I'm Simon Borg. See you next time!